Let's talk for a moment. Have you ever noticed something unique about those older individuals who genuinely embrace their solitude? You might be one of them, or maybe you've simply admired this trait in others. There's something quietly powerful about those who find comfort in their own company. They carry a kind of wisdom, a strength that draws people in without needing to seek attention. Now, if you're the type who values your alone time, or if you've ever been curious about the hidden strengths of those who do, you're in for something intriguing today. We're about to explore 4 remarkable qualities that make these individuals stand out. It's not just about preferring peace and quiet. It's about the deeper characteristics they develop that set them apart. So as we go through this journey together, keep an open mind. You might find some of these qualities within yourself or come to appreciate them in others. Let's dive into what makes these solitary souls truly extraordinary. Let's start with number 1. Profound self-awareness. When we talk about older people who truly enjoy their own company, we're delving into something deep and often overlooked. It's not just about preferring solitude, it's about having reached a level of profound self-understanding that sets them apart. These individuals have spent years reflecting, observing, and listening to their inner selves. They recognize their strengths like old friends and have made peace with their weaknesses. This self-awareness provides them with a calm confidence that doesn't rely on outside approval. Think of it this way. Imagine living through decades of experiences. The highs, the lows, the victories, and the regrets. Over time, if we pay attention, we start noticing patterns in our behavior, understanding why we react in certain ways, and gaining insight into our desires and fears. People like Marie, a retired teacher we know, embody this concept. She's in her 70s now, and when we speak with her, there's a quiet but powerful energy that draws us in. She shares stories of her years spent journaling and meditating, of sitting quietly with herself to explore her dreams, her thoughts, even her mistakes. And as we listen, it's impossible not to sense the strength in her self-awareness. Marie shared how, in her younger years, she struggled with self-doubt, constantly seeking validation from others, whether in her career or personal life. But as time passed, she began dedicating moments to herself, not as an escape, but as an inward journey. It's like peeling an onion, she often says. Each moment of solitude allowed her to uncover a new layer of her personality. It wasn't always easy. Self-awareness often means facing aspects of ourselves that we'd rather not confront. Yet, it is this process that makes older individuals who relish their own company so captivating. They've done the inner work, and it radiates in how they carry themselves. Now here's something interesting. Self-awareness isn't synonymous with being self-centered. Quite the opposite, in fact. The more we understand ourselves, the more we realize how interconnected we are with others. When Marie talks about her time alone, she doesn't describe it as isolation. She describes it as recharging, as connecting with a deeper part of herself that allows her to be more present for those around her. This level of self-awareness enables us to engage with the world from a place of fullness rather than neediness. It's like walking into a room not seeking validation because we already know who we are and what we bring to the table. Many of us, at various stages of life, chase after external validation. It could be in our work, relationships, or social circles. However, those who've embraced self-awareness possess a different glow. It's as if they've discovered that true contentment arises not from external sources, but from a profound acceptance of who they are. When we encounter someone like Marie, her serene presence can make us pause and reflect on our own lives. We begin to ask, are we running away from ourselves, or are we taking the time to truly understand who we are? The journey of self-awareness is not always a smooth one. It involves moments of discomfort where we confront our insecurities, regrets, and fears. Yet instead of avoiding these emotions, we learn to sit with them, gain insights from them, and emerge stronger. That's what we mean by profound self-awareness. It's like looking into a mirror and accepting the reflection, flaws and all. And this acceptance is what ultimately leads to the self-contentment that turns solitude into a source of peace rather than a cause of loneliness. You might be wondering how they reach this level of self-awareness. It often involves simple yet powerful practices. Take Marie, for instance. She found that journaling helped her articulate her thoughts and emotions, providing a space to explore them without judgment. Meditation, too, became a way for her to listen to her inner voice amidst the daily noise. In our fast-paced world where silence can often feel uncomfortable, these practices become tools for uncovering hidden aspects of ourselves. This is what older individuals who appreciate their own company have mastered. They have cultivated the habit of tuning into their inner worlds, leading to a deeper understanding of themselves. It also grants a unique kind of freedom. When we know who we are no longer swayed by others' opinions. We don't feel the need to conform because we have already defined our values and priorities. This is why people like Marie seem so grounded. She once remarked, "There's a peace in knowing that I don't have to be anything other than myself." Imagine how liberating that must feel, to move through life with the assurance that our worth isn't dictated by anyone else's perception. This freedom is a hallmark of those who have cultivated self-awareness. There's another element we shouldn't overlook, the calm confidence that arises from this self-awareness. It's not a loud, boastful kind of confidence. Rather, it's quiet, steady, and emanates from within. We can observe it in how they speak, how they listen, and how they approach challenges. They don't react impulsively because they've learned to pause and reflect. They understand that not every situation deserves their energy. Marie exemplifies this. She chooses her battles wisely, preserving her energy for what truly matters. It's this calmness that draws people to them, making their company feel both comforting and inspiring. As we listen to individuals like Marie, it becomes evident that they don't just know themselves, they embrace themselves. This is crucial. Self-awareness without self-acceptance can lead to inner conflict. However, those who cherish their own company have learned to embrace their imperfections, understanding that being human inherently means being imperfect. They don't berate themselves for past mistakes. Instead, they view them as lessons that have shaped who they are today. This level of self-acceptance is what makes their presence so calming. It's like sitting with someone who doesn't need fixing because they've already made peace with themselves. The impact this kind of self-awareness has on relationships: when we are content in our own company, we don't seek others to fill a void. Our interactions become more about sharing than taking. We become more present, we listen, and we give without expecting something in return. This is what makes people like Marie such cherished friends and companions. They're not looking to be completed by others. They're there simply to enjoy the connection, making every interaction feel genuine and meaningful. So, where does that leave us? It's a reminder that self-awareness isn't reserved for those in their later years. It's a lifelong journey that we can all embark on. It's about setting aside moments for self-reflection, whether through journaling, meditation, or simply sitting in silence. It's about exploring our inner worlds, confronting uncomfortable truths, and gradually building a deeper understanding of who we are. And as we do this, we too can cultivate that calm confidence, that serenity that comes from being at peace with ourselves. Profound self-awareness, then, becomes a gift we offer ourselves. It transforms solitude into a space for growth and self-discovery. It allows us to navigate life with clarity and purpose. So, as we reflect on these insights, let's consider taking a moment each day to listen to our inner voice. Ask ourselves, what are we learning about who we are? Because the more we know ourselves, the more we'll find that our own company is not just enough. It's enriching. Number 2. Unwavering Independence. When we observe those who have reached their golden years and still delight in their own company, there's something truly remarkable about them. It's not just about enjoying solitude. It's about possessing a profound strength that comes from being self-reliant. Over the course of their lives, they've uncovered a vital truth: the power of depending on themselves. And let's be clear, this isn't simply about doing things in isolation. It's about confidently navigating their own path, tackling problems head-on, and making decisions without constantly seeking others' opinions or approval. Just think about what this kind of independence brings. It's not just a habit, it's a mindset. When we choose to rely on our own abilities, we build an inner resilience that prepares us for life's unexpected twists. We become adaptable, learning that, regardless of the hurdles we face, we have the inner fortitude to handle them. It's like developing a skill. The more we practice standing on our own 2 feet, the stronger and more confident we become. And remember, this self-reliance isn't something that just appears one day. No, it grows through years of experience, through challenges, responsibilities, and the realization that, yes, we can handle things even when we're standing alone. Picture someone like John, the neighbor in his late 60s, who embodies this principle beautifully. John's life is a testament to the beauty of independence. He doesn't sit around waiting for help or expecting others to step in. Instead, he takes charge. He cares for his home, meticulously manages his finances, and even embarks on solo adventures. For John, solitude isn't about loneliness. It's a space where he exercises his self-sufficiency, where he finds joy and pride in knowing that he is capable of managing his own life. Let's paint this image in our minds for a second. John returning from his solo travels, a suitcase in hand, a glow of excitement on his face as he shares stories of new places, new experiences. This isn't just about having fun on his own. It's about the confidence that comes from knowing he can set out into the world and explore it without hesitation. And doesn't that strike a chord with us? That sense of empowerment, to live boldly, to embrace each day with the assurance that we are more than enough to handle what comes our way. It's important to highlight here that this independence doesn't mean shutting others out or avoiding support when it's truly needed. Instead, it's about recognizing our own strength. It's about discovering the joy of our own company and building a life where we aren't constantly reliant on others. People like John have found that their self-sufficiency isn't just a survival mechanism. It's a source of pride. It's what makes them resilient, what allows them to adapt to life's ups and downs with a level head and an open heart. When we start nurturing this independence, something magical happens. We begin to see challenges as chances to grow rather than threats to our comfort. We trust our instincts more because we know, deep down, that we've faced difficulties before and come out stronger. This trust in ourselves opens the door to true freedom. It's not about dodging life's hurdles. It's about facing them with courage and the knowledge that we have the power within us to conquer them. Now, how does one become this independent? You might ask. Well, it doesn't happen by pushing people away or stubbornly refusing help. It happens through experience, by embracing life's difficulties and learning to navigate them on our own. It happens by stepping up to make decisions, solving problems, and yes, sometimes stumbling along the way. But each stumble, each moment of picking ourselves up, adds another layer to our inner resilience. Before we know it, this self-reliance becomes part of who we are, a quiet but unshakable strength that guides us through life. John lives this independence in a way that speaks volumes. He isn't one to boast about his capabilities. Instead, he shows it through action, through the way he takes responsibility for his own well-being. He finds satisfaction in maintaining his home, managing his finances with a keen eye, and seeking new experiences on his solo trips. His lifestyle radiates a message that resonates deeply. Independence isn't about solitude. It's about being whole, grounded, and confident enough to embrace life on your own terms. There's also a certain tranquility that comes with this kind of independence. When we know we can depend on ourselves, we aren't easily shaken by uncertainty. We don't sit around waiting for someone else to fix things or tell us what to do. We take initiative, and this mindset brings a sense of stability. We become more flexible and open to change because we've learned to trust our own capabilities. This inner calm, this unshakable peace, is what sets independent individuals like John apart. This isn't just something to admire from afar. It's a way of living that we can all adopt. We don't need to wait until we're older to start embracing independence. We can begin today by making small choices that reinforce our ability to manage our lives. We can start by solving our own problems, making decisions based on what feels right for us, and taking pride in the things we accomplish on our own. Each step we take builds that foundation of resilience, that unwavering strength we see in people like John. Please don't overlook the joy that comes from being independent. There's a profound sense of satisfaction in knowing that we can navigate our own lives, that we can venture into new experiences without needing someone to hold our hand. It's not about rejecting the company of others. It's about discovering the fullness of our own potential. And when we do invite others into our lives, it's because we want to, not because we need them to fill a void. We come from a place of strength, not dependence. John's story is a reminder that independence is not a final destination. It's a journey, a path that we walk every day, making choices that strengthen our self-reliance. It's about becoming our own support system, our own advisor, and our own cheerleader. As we grow in this journey, we find that we are not only capable but also empowered to take on life's adventures with enthusiasm and purpose. So, what lesson do we take from this? Independence, particularly in the later stages of life, is a cornerstone of strength, adaptability, and confidence. It teaches us that we have the ability to shape our own paths, to make choices that reflect our values, and to face life's uncertainties with a steady heart. It's about celebrating our ability to be self-sufficient while understanding that we are fully equipped to welcome others into our lives from a place of fullness, not emptiness. In embracing this independence, we become like John, ready to seize the day, to explore the world with curiosity, and to handle life's unpredictability with both grace and strength. And that's a journey worth embarking on, isn't it? And now we're going to talk about number 3, the creative spirit. Let's dive into this idea together, because solitude and creativity have a unique bond that many often overlook. When some people reach a certain stage in life, they start to seek the quiet of their own company. This isn't because they dislike socializing, but rather, they begin to realize that being alone gives their imagination room to wander. They find themselves drawn to activities that bring out their artistic side, such as painting, writing, gardening, or crafting. In those quiet moments, they can truly be themselves, without interruptions. It's in this personal space that they are able to let their thoughts flow, allowing their creativity to take on forms they never imagined before. Imagine this: a painter sitting quietly in their room, surrounded by brushes and colors. There's no noise, no rush, just the calm of their own presence. In this solitude, they pick up a brush and let their mind guide their hand. You see, solitude has a way of stripping away distractions, of bringing clarity to the mind. It creates an environment where thoughts can turn into shapes and colors, where feelings can be expressed without words. It's not just about painting, it's about transforming their inner emotions into something tangible, something that resonates with their soul. When they finish, they don't look for applause or approval. No, their satisfaction comes from knowing that they've expressed a part of themselves. But creativity isn't limited to just painting. For some, writing becomes their sanctuary. Picture an older individual sitting by a window with a notebook in hand. In those quiet hours, they let their memories, dreams, and reflections spill onto the pages. They aren't writing for fame or recognition. They're writing because it allows them to connect with their own thoughts in a meaningful way. The solitude offers them the chance to explore ideas and emotions that might get lost in the noise of daily life. When they write, it's like they're having a conversation with themselves, finding peace in every word that flows from their pen. Then, there are those who turn to the earth for inspiration. We often see them in their gardens, but do we really understand what's happening there? Gardening for them is an act of creation. They don't just plant seeds, they cultivate life, nurturing each sprout with care and attention. Solitude provides them with the time to observe, to tend, and to appreciate the small wonders that nature has to offer. Every flower they grow, every leaf they tend to, becomes a part of their creative expression. They see their garden as a canvas, where every bloom is a brushstroke, and every plant is a masterpiece. It's not about having the most beautiful garden, it's about the joy and fulfillment they find in the process. Crafting is another wonderful way they express their creativity. Have you ever watched someone work with their hands in the stillness of their solitude? Whether it's woodworking, knitting, or pottery, these individuals immerse themselves in the craft, losing track of time as they create. There is something almost magical in those moments. They aren't concerned with how others will judge their work. No, their focus is on the rhythm of their hands, the texture of the materials, the joy of bringing an idea to life. In their solitude, they find freedom, a freedom that allows them to experiment, to make mistakes, and to learn without the fear of being watched or criticized. Solitude is like the soil that nurtures the roots of creativity. When people are constantly surrounded by noise, tasks, and interactions, their minds get cluttered. But when they retreat into the quiet of their own company, it's as if they're giving their minds permission to breathe. They find themselves exploring ideas that they might have never considered before. This is the magic of being alone. It opens up a world of possibilities where creativity can bloom. They don't need validation from others, because the joy they find in creating is more than enough. This inner joy becomes their motivation to keep going, to keep exploring what they can do. Have you noticed how solitude sharpens their senses? In their quiet moments, they start to see things they didn't notice before. The way light dances on the leaves, the subtle patterns in the clouds, the gentle sway of the trees in the wind. These observations become their inspiration. When they sit down to paint or write, they draw from these little moments of beauty. It's as if solitude gives them new eyes, allowing them to see the world in a deeper, more vibrant way. This heightened awareness becomes a key part of their creative process, influencing everything they create. And let's not forget about the process itself. For them, creativity isn't just about the final product, it's about the journey. When they paint, they don't always have a plan. They simply start and let the colors guide them. Each brushstroke is a discovery, each moment a chance to explore something new. It's the same with writing or crafting. They don't set out to create a masterpiece, they simply enjoy the act of creating. This freedom is what makes their work so authentic. They pour their hearts into what they do, not because they have to, but because it brings them peace and fulfillment. Some may look at them and wonder why they spend so much time alone, but if you ask them, they'll tell you that it's in those moments of solitude that they feel most alive. It's not about loneliness, it's about finding a space where they can connect with themselves. When they are alone, they can listen to their inner voice, allowing it to guide their hands, their words, their actions. It's a deeply personal experience, one that gives them the courage to express who they truly are without the need for approval or applause. Here's another beautiful aspect. Their creations often become a source of inspiration for others. When you look at a painting, read a poem, or walk through a garden that they've nurtured, you're not just seeing the result of their work. You're seeing a piece of their soul, a reflection of their thoughts, feelings, and experiences. This is the power of the creative spirit. It speaks to others, it touches hearts, it sparks inspiration. And all of this stems from the quiet moments they spend with themselves. What we want you to understand is that solitude is not a void. It's a canvas. It's a place where the mind can wander, explore, and create without limitations. In this space, older individuals find the freedom to express what they feel, to explore their passions, and to create something that is uniquely theirs. They aren't worried about meeting standards or impressing others. They simply create because it brings them joy, because it allows them to put a piece of themselves out into the world. Their solitude becomes a wellspring of ideas. As they sit in silence, thoughts come and go, each one a potential seed for a new project. They aren't in a hurry. They let the ideas simmer, take shape, and grow naturally. When they finally pick up a brush, a pen, or a tool, they do so with a sense of purpose, with a clear vision of what they want to bring into existence. And when they're done, they look at their work with a quiet sense of satisfaction, knowing that they've created something that came from the depths of their own being. The beauty of this process is that it's always evolving. Each time they return to their solitude, they bring new experiences, new thoughts, new inspirations. Their creativity shifts and changes with them, reflecting the journey they're on. It's not about perfecting a single piece of work, it's about continually exploring what lies within them. Each new painting, poem, or project becomes a chapter in their ongoing story, a testament to the life they're living. If you ever find yourself wondering about the power of solitude, we want you to remember this. It is in the quiet moments that the creative spirit finds its voice. Solitude is not about withdrawing from the world. It's about creating a space where you can truly explore and express who you are. Just like these individuals, you too have the potential to find joy and inspiration in your own company. Allow your solitude to be the garden where your ideas bloom, the workshop where your dreams take shape. Because it is in these moments of quiet that the creative spirit comes alive. How about the number 4, the rich inner life? You see, when we talk about those who appreciate solitude as they grow older, we aren't just speaking about people who enjoy being alone. No, it's much deeper than that. We're talking about individuals who have found a sanctuary within themselves, a place of introspection, contemplation, and quiet thinking. This isn't just about escaping the noise of the outside world. It's about diving into the depths of their thoughts, emotions, and experiences. We find that this kind of rich inner life is a true treasure. It makes them more than just interesting. It makes them wise. Imagine sitting down with someone who has spent decades exploring the landscapes of their own mind. Their perspectives aren't merely shaped by what they've seen or done. They are shaped by what they have pondered over in the stillness of their solitude. It's like talking to someone who has walked through the vast libraries of life, picking up knowledge, stories, and insights along the way. Conversations with such people can feel like uncovering hidden gems, because they bring with them a depth and clarity that only comes from years of introspection. We're not just hearing their words, we're experiencing the world through the eyes of someone who has learned to reflect deeply. When we think about solitude, many might picture loneliness or isolation. But for those who cherish their alone time, it's quite the opposite. They've learned to fill their inner world with beauty, curiosity, and meaning. Their minds become like a garden, tended to with care and patience. And it's this inner richness that allows them to develop nuanced understandings of the world around them. They don't rush to conclusions. They take their time, turning thoughts over like a jeweler examining a precious stone. And when they finally do speak, they offer perspectives that are not only thoughtful, but profoundly enriching. In a world that often values the noise of constant activity, we sometimes overlook the power of quiet contemplation. Those who nurture a rich inner life remind us that wisdom doesn't always come from constant motion. Sometimes, it's the quiet moments of reflection that hold the most value. By embracing solitude, they create space for thoughts to breathe, for ideas to grow, and for emotions to settle into clarity. And when they share their insights, it's like getting a glimpse into a wellspring of wisdom that has been nurtured and cultivated over years, if not decades. Conversations with these individuals often feel like stepping into a vast, tranquil forest. There's a calmness in their words, a patience in their thoughts. They're not trying to impress with quick opinions or flashy ideas. Instead, they offer reflections that have been shaped by time and introspection. We can feel the weight of their experiences, the careful consideration behind their words. And it's this rich inner life that makes their company so rewarding. It's not just about what they say, it's about the presence they bring into every interaction. Now, let's think about the way they view the world. With a rich inner life, they aren't easily swayed by trends or surface-level distractions. They've spent enough time in their own company to understand what truly matters to them. This clarity allows them to cut through the noise and see things for what they are, not just what they appear to be. When they speak, they draw from a deep well of contemplation, offering perspectives that are both grounding and enlightening. We find ourselves listening not just because of the words they use, but because of the thoughtfulness and sincerity behind them. And we should consider how this depth affects their relationships. People with rich inner lives bring a different kind of energy to their connections. They aren't looking to fill the silence with meaningless chatter. They're looking for conversations that matter. When they engage with others, it's not to impress or dominate, but to explore, to understand, and to connect on a deeper level. Their solitude has taught them the value of genuine dialogue, and so when they speak, they do so with a quiet strength that draws others in. We might also notice that their inner life gives them resilience. Because they've spent so much time exploring their own thoughts and emotions, they are not easily rattled by life's ups and downs. They have learned to navigate their inner world with grace, and this makes them more adaptable to the challenges they face. It's like they have a map that guides them through life's complexities, and they use this map to find peace, even in turbulent times. And when they share their experiences, it's as if they're handing us a part of that map, helping us find our own way through the maze of life. In many ways, their rich inner life is like a deep ocean. On the surface, things may seem calm and serene, but beneath, there's a world full of movement, color, and life. When we take the time to dive into their conversations, we discover layers upon layers of insights that we might not have expected. They don't just see the world, they experience it in ways that most of us might overlook. And by sharing their inner journeys, they invite us to explore the depths of our own thoughts and feelings. We might wonder, how do they develop such a rich inner life? It doesn't happen overnight. It takes years of practice, choosing to spend time in solitude, embracing quiet moments, and allowing themselves to think deeply. They have learned to be their own companions, to sit with their thoughts without judgment, and to explore the vast terrain of their inner world. This process has given them a unique strength, a sense of wholeness that doesn't depend on external validation. And when they speak, we can sense that strength in every word. If you're someone who treasures your alone time, or you know someone who does, take a moment to celebrate those remarkable qualities. Older individuals who embrace solitude truly possess a unique magic. They bring wisdom, creativity, and an emotional strength that enriches the world around them. So cherish your uniqueness and hold on to those quiet moments as something truly special. Remember, dear viewer, solitude isn't about feeling lonely. It's about discovering the peace within yourself and finding beauty in your own company. Next time you find yourself enjoying a moment of silence, reflect on just how incredible that makes you. You are a source of inspiration, showing that the power of solitude is something to be proud of. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Share your own tips and experiences in the comments below. And if this video resonated with you, be sure to like and subscribe for more. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time.